围墙都冲倒了。哎呀！
In a heart-stopping instant, a colossal landslide thundered down from the highlands of southern China, swallowing a remote village whole. Towers of earth, uprooted trees, and shattered homes hurtled downhill, burying farmlands, roads, and lives in an unstoppable surge of mud and rock. What began as faint rumbling became a nightmare that stunned everyone. Days of relentless rains, supercharged by the monsoon and tropical storm Podul, had already pushed the ground to its limit. Then, in one fatal moment, the slope collapsed. For days, relentless rains had battered the region. The soil was soaked to the core, unstable and trembling under the pressure. And when it finally collapsed, disaster multiplied. The landslide clogged rivers, forcing the waters to rise higher and higher, bursting their banks with brutal force. Within minutes, peaceful village life turned into chaos. Streets became raging rivers. Bridges collapsed like matchsticks. Entire neighborhoods disappeared under a swirling mix of water and mud. Families who had only moments before been preparing breakfast or tending to animals suddenly found themselves running barefoot, waist deep through floodwaters, clinging desperately to trees or rooftops as the current tore everything away.
Wow, 这么高的，这么高的浪。
Eyewitnesses spoke of the earth trembling beneath their feet, followed by a deafening roar of water, mud and rock, nature unleashing its fury. In Guangzhou, the skies opened with the second heaviest August rainfall this century. Streets turned into canals. Markets, buses, and schools were drowned. Hillsides collapsed, burying highways and stranding survivors on rooftops. Factories and farmlands were destroyed overnight, leaving behind nothing but silence and wreckage. Far to the north, in Miyun and Yanqing, Beijing's outer districts faced an unprecedented deluge. A year's worth of rain fell in only 7 days. Entire villages were submerged, power lines snapped, roads disintegrated, and dozens of lives were lost. Helicopters hovered overhead as families clung to treetops, praying to be seen before the waters swallowed them completely. In Gansu province, tragedy struck again. A sudden flash flood and landslide ripped through Maliantan village. 10 people were killed instantly, with at least 33 still missing. More than 5,000 residents were stranded, without food, electricity, or clean water. With communications cut, they relied only on faint radio signals and the flicker of torchlight to endure the night. Families with children pitched tents along a riverside. But in the dark of night, a sudden flash flood tore through. Tents, vehicles, and entire campsites were swept away in seconds. 10 people lost their lives instantly, and others remained missing. Survivors recall hearing children scream as the raging waters ripped their loved ones away. When Tropical Storm Podul made landfall, it unleashed another wave of destruction. In Fujian, streets filled waist-deep with water. In Macau, casinos, shops, and neighborhoods were overwhelmed by floodwaters. Nearly 16,000 people were evacuated as rescue crews fought collapsed roads, rising rivers, and constant landslide threats. Emergency sirens wailed across valleys. Roads vanished beneath floodwaters or were blocked by landslide debris. Entire families were cut off, stranded on rooftops, waving desperately for help. Rescue teams, soldiers, firefighters, doctors, and volunteers fought day and night, braving falling rocks and raging currents. On higher ground, medical tents were set up. Helicopters circled above, dropping supplies, blankets, food, clean water into the worst hit zones. Across the region, people huddled together, soaked, exhausted, but alive. Environmental experts warn that the ground is still dangerously unstable. More landslides may follow. Flash floods remain possible with more rain in the forecast. Evacuations continue as shelters overflow with displaced families, people who may never see their homes again. And yet, amid the destruction, something remarkable has unfolded. Neighbors help neighbors, strangers share food and blankets, volunteers pour in from across provinces with supplies and hope,